Buhari said as a parent, he felt their pains, but remains grateful to God that 24 of the girls were found alive and had been reunited with their families. He assured that the government would do all within its powers to reintegrate them and that the government is constantly in touch through negotiations and local intelligence to secure the release of the remaining abducted girls. As a government, the president noted that very soon and by the grace of God, the nation's collective efforts will be rewarded with the safe return of the schoolgirls to their families, friends, and the society as a whole.
The federal government is to partner with some private organizations to solve humanitarian problems in the Northeast using technology. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo stated this in Yola while inaugurating some of the 59 roads reconstructed and rehabilitated by the Adamawa state government. He said the program will enable particularly youths in the Northeast to reclaim their lives and overcome the trauma of terrorism. While commending the bridge building efforts of Governor Mohammed Bindo, Vice President Osinbajo also announced that the federal government is marking out a number of other programs that will ease employment problems in the Northeast.
That change has come to Adamawa, and I'm pleased to see also that peace has come, even in places like Madagali, which was war-torn, and several other places. I'm also pleased to witness the peace and love that exists among the leaders of this state. One of the programs of our party and one of the programs of the government is the Empower Youth Program. And in this Empower Youth Program, we have 10,000 spaces for young graduates in this state, in Adamawa State. And I hope that many young people will be able to benefit, especially graduates will be able to benefit from this scheme. We also have the JEEP, a program of microcredits for market women, for artisans, for vocational persons who have vocational skills. A lot of this work, a lot of the microcredit is available also, and I'm sure that in the next couple of months we'll be able to benefit from it in this state.
Governor Mohammed Bindo Umar Jibrilla had earlier thanked the Buhari-led administration for ensuring peace in the Northeast. He said developmental efforts of the state government were achieved as a result of the peace being enjoyed today in the region.
Adamawa is one. I want to prove to everybody that in Adamawa State, we only know Adamawa State. There's nothing like you are Muslim or you are Christian. This administration has been able to crush that kind of sentiment that we are looking for development.
Former Head of State General Abdulsalam Abubakar says every Nigerian at whatever level has a role to play in ensuring the security of the nation. General Abubakar said this at a public lecture organized by the National Open University of Nigeria, NOUN, in Abuja. Abdullah Musa Suleja has details.
Nigeria has been grappling with security challenges, one of which is the activities of insurgents, who, according to experts, are educated yet consider Western education forbidden. The lecture by the Faculty of Social Sciences of the National Open University of Nigeria, NOUN, which focuses on interrogating the nexus between human capacity development, labor union, education, and national security, is premised on this. The former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, said individual effort in ensuring and maintaining security at a family level translates to what can be achieved at the national level.
Without security, there cannot be a house. Without security, you wouldn't have a nation.
The guest speaker, Professor Ibikulle Tijani, said unless professionals are made the only ones to teach, it will be difficult for the country to achieve national security.
You must have passion to teach for you to make meaningful contributions to developing the hearts and minds.
The National Open University of Nigeria, NOUN, which has been operating in Lagos since its establishment over 3 decades ago, moved to Abuja last year. In Abuja, Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
And the Nigerian Army is to commence Operation Harb in Kunama 2 in southern Kaduna, Kano and Plateau states. Chief of Training and Operations, Nigerian Army, Major General David Ahmadu announced this at a press conference. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
The exercise is aimed at addressing activities of armed bandits, herdsmen and other criminal elements in parts of North Central and Northwestern states. Slated for 18 April 2017 and to be conducted by troops of 1 and 3 divisions of the Nigerian Army. It is expected to further consolidate on the success recorded on fighting insurgency.
Of note is the farmers and herdsmen in southern Kaduna. This presupposes that troops need to be equipped with requisite skills to cope with these challenges in aid of civil authority.
While cautioning residents of the affected states to be wary of fleeing criminals as a result of the proposed operation, he urged them to report suspicious persons to security agencies. Similarly, the Nigerian Army has advised the public to be mindful of criminals defrauding applicants in the name of recruitment.
Recruitment into the Nigerian Army is free of charge.
In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Vice Chairman, Presidential Committee on the Northeast Initiative, Tijani Tumsa, says more support is needed to restore normalcy in the Northeast following years of insurgency, which has cost the region an estimated $9 billion in resources. He stated this while receiving a delegation from the Daily Trust newspapers. Victor Azu reports.
The delegation of the Daily Trust newspapers, led by the editor-in-chief Munir Dan Ali, arrived at the headquarters of the Presidential Committee on Northeast Initiative, PCNI. As they settled down, he thanked the committee for its efforts, which has contributed in gradually restoring normalcy to the region.
I felt that as a media house, what we needed to do was to galvanize Nigerians to understand the enormity of the destruction, of the upheaval, of the human story, of things that have really gone bad in the Northeast.
Speaking on behalf of the committee, the Vice Chairman Tijani Tumsa advised the organization to keep upholding the ethics of journalism profession while pledging the committee's readiness to work with the visitors in a bid to rebuild the Northeast geopolitical zone of the country.
There are upwards of 21,000 programs in the plan, and we feel if that is taken care of particularly, then it will move a long way in solving, restoring the Northeast back to, if not better, to where it was before.
The committee was set up with a mandate to bring succor to the people of the Northeast. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Senate President Bukola Saraki says the National Assembly is working hard in collaboration with the executive arm of government to replicate successes achieved in the fight against terrorism in the areas of corruption and the revival of the economy. Senator Saraki stated this when he received Muslim clerics under the auspices of the Council of Ulamas. National Assembly correspondent Waziri Zayanu has details.
The Senate President noted that at present, Nigeria needs more than ever before concerted efforts from everyone, especially religious leaders, to help sustain peaceful coexistence towards maintaining stability and progress among various segments of the society.
We are together, we are united with government, we are working hard with government to make Nigeria better.
Secretary General Council of Ulamas, Professor Muhammad Sadiq Abubakar, commended the collaboration between Senate and the executive arm of government in the fight against terrorism in the country.
Our members are really coming from all sects of Islam because we believe no particular sect should be left behind insofar as the stability and progress of the country is concerned.
In a related development, Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu has called on the federal government to extend its whistleblower policy in the anti-corruption war to the areas of arresting proliferation of arms and consequent incessant killings in different parts of the country. While receiving a delegation of the Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HUREWA, Senator Ekweremadu maintained that rights to life remain sacrosanct, pointing out that unless illicit arms were mopped up, mass killings and destructions will continue.
People keep arms all over the place, and those some people know where they are. So I think it is time that those who know where these arms are should be able to come out and speak out.
National Coordinator of Riwa, Emmanuel Omubiko, described the recent amendment of the Electoral Act as a cardinal move that will entrench democracy.
If the local councils have functional infrastructures, if there is better living condition for our parents, there will be peace in Nigeria.
From the National Assembly, Waziri Zayanu, NTA News.
And Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has assured that Nigeria has reviewed its visa policy as a deliberate move to encourage investors to the country. The minister stated this when he received the British High Commissioner to Nigeria. Anthony Forson reports.
The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, told the British High Commissioner that the new visa regime will ease means of doing business in the country. He enumerated the number of memoranda of understandings and partnerships between Britain and Nigeria, saying the present administration is leveraging on them as a platform to drive its economic diversification process.
Because we look at our culture, we look at our heritage as another area where we can harness them and diversify the economy.
The minister also told the British High Commissioner that the National Broadcasting Commission is relying on British expertise to accomplish its analog to digital migration. Earlier, the British High Commissioner, Paul Arkwright, while expressing satisfaction with the cordial relationship between Nigeria and Britain, said Britain is cooperating with Nigeria in the areas of culture and tourism, creative industry, sharing knowledge and expertise, which is the bedrock upon which an MOU was signed between Nigeria and British Council.
We talked about the visa regime, we talked about the importance of journalists coming to Nigeria to see for themselves all the good news that is happening here, to cover the economic growth and recovery plan, to look at the ways in which this government is determined to tackle corruption, to look at the diversification of the economy, and of course to look at the security situation.
Similarly, the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Zhao Pingjong, was granted audience by the Information and Culture Minister, who described China as a strategic partner to Nigeria, given its capacity in supporting infrastructural development in the country.
It's always been a relationship of equals. It's a relationship built on mutual respect, and a relationship that has been built on the knowledge that it's only when you help your partner to grow that you can also grow better.
In the area of culture and tourism, movie and cinematography, Nigeria and China, he said, have fared well, while NTA and StarTimes partnership has continued to wax strong. The Chinese ambassador to Nigeria said the relationship between Nigeria and China has been strengthened on the basis of culture, education, information and tourism.
Cultural activities, personnel exchanges, and skills training and capacity building issues.
Zhao Pingjong assured the Information and Culture Minister that the bilateral relationship between the two countries has been further consolidated with the setting up of the Nigerian Cultural Center in Beijing. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The ad hoc committee investigating the alleged $17 billion theft in the oil and gas sector says it will widen the scope of its investigative hearing in order to cover all areas related to oil money theft in the country. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports that the ad hoc committee has just concluded the first phase of public hearing on the alleged financial fraud in the sector.
The ad hoc committee had invited chief executive officers of the relevant agencies and organizations involved in the crude oil and liquefied natural gas businesses, of which some of them sent representatives to the investigative hearing. To the ad hoc committee members, these representatives do not have the capacity to provide explanation on major issues being investigated.
Paid the sum of $110,802,940.94. I would like to know, what did you pay for?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, I will not be able to provide information on this because I would need the head of the payments and collection team to actually be the ones to respond to this.
AGIP had written a letter on the 10th of April informing the committee of a pending action in court. The action was filed since March 2016 and relates to this same subject matter. So basically what we're here to tell the committee is that in view of that pending action which relates to this same subject matter, AGIP is unable to comment on this subject matter.
We are also authorized to do our work to the best of our ability. So please, go back and tell the people that brought you or sent you that we want those we've invited, not their legal counsels.
Not satisfied with their responses on the issues raised, the ad hoc committee says it will continue to interface with the relevant officials involved in the oil and gas sector to unveil the truth on the allegations.
After Easter, it is very obvious that we have to do further interrogation as far as this matter is concerned.
The ad hoc committee also said it will not be deterred by the lukewarm response by the agencies under investigation, as it will leave no stone unturned in carrying out its mandate in order to rid the system of corrupt practices. From the National Assembly, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Mekanti Baru, has challenged newly deployed staff of the corporation to remain committed to their duties in line with the transformation aspirations of the management. This is in a statement by the corporation's General Manager, Public Affairs Division, Ndu Ugamadu, who announced the deployment of Mr. Adeyemi Adetunji as new Managing Director, NNPC Retail Limited. Also appointed Lowell Bello, Executive Director Operations, NNPC Retail, and Agwandas Andraus, Manager Distribution, NNPC Retail. Until his appointment, Mr. Adetunji was the Managing Director, Strategy and Planning, Gas and Power. Meanwhile, the corporation has also approved the retirement of Esther Nnamdi Ogwe as Managing Director, Retail, Alpha Manza, Executive Director Operations, and Oluwa Kayode Erinoso, Managing Director Distribution, NNPC Retail Limited. You can watch this news live via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Reformed laws get the Federal Attorney General. Details of this and more when we return. Stay with us.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
Let's pepper there. So tell somebody to tell everybody to come join Maya, baby. I did bring too much sauce. Glow Mega Music Talk. It's gonna be a mad over you 10. You're ready to win a show stoppers.
I'm your host for the biggest show ever.
So miss the star, you're gonna miss everything. So join me, guys. Let's turn up.
We'll be storming across Nigeria. I won't be anywhere else.
Everyone who is anyone is going to be there. All Nigeria's A-list musicians. One big stage.
Live and direct.
Glow Mega Music Tour all over Nigeria.
So watch out because we dey come.
Let's go!
It's the Glow Mega Music Tour with your favorite anchors and special guest stars. It's gonna be untamed. Text music and your preferred location to 207. Use 2,000 Naira Glow airtime in 1 month to stand in line for your free ticket. So what are you waiting for? The Glow Mega Music Tour. Glow Unlimited.
The Petroleum Tankers Drivers of Nupeng, in collaboration with Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, hereby wish all Christian faithfuls a happy Easter celebration. In the spirit of celebration, obey traffic rules and regulations in order to assist everyone reach their destinations freely and safely. Install speed limiting device and do not drive with worn out or expired tires to avoid accidents. While wishing all Christian faithfuls a happy Easter celebration, the two organizations advise that consideration for other road users is a religious obligation which everyone must observe. In case of any emergency, please call 122 toll-free line. This message is from the Petroleum Tankers Drivers of Nupeng.
We appreciate the gesture, we appreciate her love, and we know that she cares about the people of Nigeria.
She wants to touch people's life, especially the less privileged, or even people who are sick in the hospital. We remember that they have a wife of the president who is very concerned about human life and humanity in general.
Time to be alive. Just some years ago, many of the businesses and industries that are worth billions today did not even exist. Now, you could be in a village, somewhere that almost nobody has heard of, and become the next big thing worldwide. All you need is an idea, patience, persistence, and good internet access. So go on. Get the other three, because we've got you covered on internet access with super fast data plans, no matter who you are or where you are. Maybe you're the one the world is waiting for to take us to our next level of success. There's only one way to find out, and we have full confidence that you will find the way. Why are we so sure? Let's just say that we have blind faith in your future.
That scenario will not happen.
The insurgency has been contained and agricultural production is bouncing back. Nigeria is working towards food sufficiency.
So FAO, thank you for coming. We discussed we're going to need your help in expanding agriculture, in introducing new crops for local consumption and export. We need to make the rural people richer and happier than they are now.
We must become a nation where we grow what we eat and consume what we produce.
Thank you for staying with us on NTA Network News. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of chief executives of more federal agencies. Among them is Jelani Aliyu, the renowned automobile lead designer with General Motors, who has been appointed Director General of the Nigeria Automotive Design and Development Council. Mohammed Hamza Sheikh has details.
The lead designer of General Motors, Jelani Aliyu, is the Director General, Nigeria Automotive Design and Development Council. Julie Okadonli is the Director General, Nigeria Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, while National Council for Women Development has Mary Ekpere-Eta as Director General. The Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund has Bayo Shemefu as the Managing Director, while Ahmed Dangiwa is the Managing Director of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, and Alex Oko Director General, Bureau of Public Enterprises. The Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, PPPRA, has Abdulkadir Said Umar, Director General, National Park Service, Nena Akajemeli, National Coordinator, Service Compact, Dr. Nasser Mohammed Ladan, Director General, National Directorate of Employment, Saliu Dada Alabi, Director General, Michael Imodu, National Institute for Labor Studies, Professor Jeff Barminas, Director General, National Research Institute for Chemical Technology, and Dr. Haruna Yerima, Director General, Nigeria Institute for Social and Economic Research, NASRA. The Nigerian Insurance Commission has Sunday Thomas as Deputy Commissioner, while the Consumer Protection Council has Tunde Erukera as Executive Secretary, and Federal Character Commission has Mohammed Bello Tukur as Secretary. The appointment of Dikko Aliyu Abdurrahman as Director General of National Pension Commission is subject to confirmation by the Senate. Umaru Gambo Jibrin is the Executive Secretary of Federal Capital Development Authority. Folashade Joseph, Managing Director, Nigeria Agricultural Insurance Corporation. Cecilia Umaru Gaya, Director General, Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, and Lucy Ajayi, Executive Secretary, Lagos International Trade Fair Management Board. The Nigeria Export Processing Zones Authority has Emmanuel Jime as Managing Director, while the Nigerian Lottery Regulatory Commission has Larry Bajabiamila as Director General. Muhammad Hamza Sheikh, NTA News.
Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, has urged the Nigerian Law Reform Commission to reform the nation's anti-corruption laws as a way of strengthening the fight against corruption. He stated this while receiving 9 old laws reformed by the Commission. Femi Okewu completes the report.
The reports are reform projects that have been embarked upon by the Nigerian Law Reform Commission in the last 2 years. They range from legislations that were either promulgated by the military or from colonial times, or even current laws in use but which lack direction or focus. Chairman of the Nigerian Law Reform Commission, Mr. Kefas Magaji, gave the example of the Public Order Act and the Police Powers of Arrest Act, in which Nigeria has no legislation defining or criminalizing torture.
The proposals for reform include an amendment of the Act to provide for objectives of the Act for clarity of interpretation and application.
Commending the Law Reform Commission for its drive, the Minister of Justice, however, urged the body to do the same for the nation's anti-corruption laws, being a cardinal program of the present government.
To look at the possibility of strengthening our laws and institutions that are intended to provide focus and direction as it relates to fighting against corruption drive.
Law reform, as conducted by the Nigerian Law Reform Commission, is just the beginning of the journey. And as has just been acknowledged, this is the raw material with which the National Executive Council can move on to pass on a bill to the National Assembly. From the Ministry of Justice, Femi Okewu, NTA News.
National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Senator Alimodi Sharif, has directed state chapters of the party to submit lists of their statutory delegates before April 27th, ahead of the party's convention. This was at a media briefing in Abuja. Political correspondent Abdullah Garobernikudu reports.
Reacting for the first time after his walkout from the peace meeting convened by former President Goodluck Jonathan, Senator Sharif, who spoke through his deputy, Cairo Ojubo, said he is working according to the proposals of Governor Dixon Reconciliation Committee. The national chairman announced plan to hold National Executive Committee meeting to fix the date for the convention, while expressing confidence to win at the Supreme Court.
We have steadfast and abiding confidence that the Supreme Court, under the incorruptible leadership of Justice Walter Onoge, cannot be bought over. The Supreme Court is for all Nigerians. We are therefore assured that justice will run its full course.
Meanwhile, the PDP young leaders have aligned themselves to any peace initiative that will resolve the PDP crisis.
What we've always
advocated for at the party level is that everybody buries whatever interest and eschews democratic ideals. I mean, there's nothing wrong in getting people who want to contest or who want to hold offices to contest freely.
The youth constitute 60% of PDP membership. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
Contrary to public perception that there is a rift between the executive and the legislative arm, guests on NTA's current affairs program, Moment for Thought, say it is a figment of imagination created by the media.
Our three sides have to perform to the best of their ability. And in the process, there is discretion, most especially from the legislature. And sometimes when they exercise discretion, people feel that, no, they are standing on the head of Nigerians, or they are standing on the head of the executive, or they are confronting the executive.
I think of late I have been able to, and many people have come to realize that there is no rift between the executive and the legislature. It is only that the executive has been very active, the legislature has been very active, and the executive and legislature have been very active in their interrelationship.
Moment for Thought comes up tonight at 10:30 on the NTA network service. Bauchi State Governor Muhammad Abubakar has added a voice to entreaties to Nigerians to embrace the federal government's Change Begins With Me campaign. It was at the National Conference of Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics in Bauchi. Abbas Mekano reports.
When the present administration assumed office in 2015, the Polytechnic has only one accredited course, the situation that the Governor MA found unacceptable and approved the release of funds for the development of facilities, engagement of qualified personnel for the accreditation of courses. As a result of these efforts, the Polytechnic presently runs 16 accredited courses.
What I am seeing is very, very pleasing.
Speaking at the 2017 National Conference of Academic Staff Union of the Polytechnics, ATAP chapter, Governor M.A. Abubakar said good governance is predicated on sincerity and accountability on the part of the leaders.
In line with the change mantra disposition of the present administration, which aimed at promoting good governance through vigorous fight against corruption and other social vices.
The theme of the conference is Recession, the role of good governance in Nigeria. Abbas Mekano, NTA News.
The new managing director of the Nigerian Film Corporation, JOS, Dr. Chidia Madueke, has promised to partner and synergize with both foreign and local organizations to provide purposeful leadership in the Nigerian film industry. It was on his assumption of office. Ijoma Ozemena has details.
Pattern of leadership from the outgoing managing director, Dr. Danji Mdadu, the new managing director, Dr. Madueke, expressed appreciation to his predecessor's achievements of keeping alive the vision of founding fathers of the corporation, which has sustained the film agency. Shortly after the handover, the new managing director headed for the corporation's film training school, where he addressed the staff.
As participants and stakeholders in this sector, we have a responsibility to key into the lofty ideals and agenda of our presidency. No doubt, the Nigerian film industry is truly Africa's success story.
The chairperson, Nigerian Film Corporation, chapter of the Radio and Television Theatre Arts Workers Union, Ratau, Augusta Isaac, promised to support him achieve his mandates. Special prayers were offered for the peace and progress of the corporation and film industry. Dr. Chidia Madueke, who is a medical doctor by profession, was before his appointment a one-time federal lawmaker. In Jos, Ijoma Ozemina, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. West African Examination Council now to conduct 2 private exams annually. Over to Demola for details. It's over to you, Demola.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good evening and warm welcome to Lagos. Candidates sitting for the West African Senior School Certificate Examination, popularly known as November-December Diet, will henceforth have the opportunity to retake the examination if they wish before admission period. This is because the West African Examination Council WAEC has approved the conduct of additional examination for private candidates, bringing the total diet for the year to 3. The registrar of the council disclosed this at an interactive session with the media in Lagos. Jane Ojuku reports.
The registrar of the council, Dr. E. Owade, explained that the council's decision was in response to the growing agitation and appeal for a reduction of the one-year-long wait that private candidates are subjected to before they could have opportunity to retake the examination, unlike their counterparts in school.
If they don't do well in the November-December one, then because we release results in December, then they can register and write the February 1.
Head National Office of WAEC, Mr. Olu Adenikbekun, said Nigeria is set to blaze the trail by commencing the additional diet starting from February 2018.
That approval given to us by the council will make it work and it will work well. And we have also done a rejigging of our systems, of our procedures, of our processes to ensure that in the nearest future, we should be able to have multiple diets of work.
The council also disclosed that Liberia has fully adopted WAEC as its national examination, having just phased out the Liberia Senior High School Certificate Examination, their own version of NECO. In Lagos, Jane Ojuku, NTA News.
Nigeria needs to build strong institutions to confront the next stage of development and fight corruption effectively. The realization of this vision starts with a strong legal profession and promotion of the rule of law. President of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, Abubakar Mahmood, stated this in Lagos at the inauguration of a technical committee on conference planning for the association annual general meeting in Lagos. Vera Chumoba was there.
The Nigerian Bar Association President Abubakar Mahmood, who came in with an agenda to reform and transform the legal profession and align it with global best practices, said the legal profession needs to be overhauled, reviewed, and to restore public confidence in line with the realities of today. This, he said, informed the setting up of various committees by the NBA to drive the change agenda of the association. The NBA president asked legal practitioners to key into the work of the association to sustain the country's democratic efforts.
There can be no fight against corruption unless there are very strong institutions that can pursue those.
Professor Koyin Ajayi, chairman of the Technical Committee on Conference Planning, said the conference will not only explore the potential, but will be a melting point for Nigerian businessmen to spread their tentacles around the world.
At the end of this conference, it will be clear to the world that Nigeria is open for business, not just for itself, but for Africa. The conference looks at the future of the nation, looks at our potential, and how we as lawyers would aid the process of pushing the agenda of developing the economy forward.
The conference opens on the 25th of August. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. We take a break now for some messages, after which the news continues shortly. Stay with us.
When the kings of African comedy gather under one roof, there is only one outcome. Then we bring down the roof. Come witness the craziest and the funniest, oh my God, and the baddest of them all. Laughter will scatter your brain well.
Come watch the biggest names in African comedy at Glow Laughter Fest. Basket Mouth, Bovi, I Go Die, Sheyi Law, Gordons, Salvador, Osama, Bash, Kenny Black, and many more.
You will never have a bigger gathering of jaw-dropping, whip-cracking comedians under one roof. One microphone, one network.
All over Nigeria.
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
I am going to be there. I'm going to be there.
Live and direct.
For the time of your life.
Will you? To win a free ticket, use 2,000 Naira in a month and text LOL and your preferred location to 240.
Oh, Laughter Fest. Laughs will kill you, Dad.
True.
Glow Unlimited.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now, through our technology. LG OLED TV.
Cadbury Bournvita now comes in an attractive new 500-gram refill pack. Simply open and reseal after use to retain the chocolatey and creamy taste. Cadbury Bournvita. Prepare to win.
Chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath.
The Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, is organizing a pre-retirement workshop for officers in both public and private sector organizations who have 5 years or less to retire from service. Workshop title, Entrepreneurship Development Program for Retiring Officers. Date, 8th to 19th May 2017. Venue, ASCON Complex, Tokbo Badagry. Workshop fee, 120,000 naira per participant. Bank account, ASCON e-collection account. Account number, 023005586119. For further inquiries, contact Program Director, Mr. E.E. Akman, on 08037173823 or Program Coordinator, Mr. J.A. Adamu, on 08023683872. Announcer, Acting Director General, ASCON.
Thank you for staying with us. Nigeria's inflation rate dropped the most in the past 15 months. Moplan Dakok has details of this and more on Business News.
Hello there, welcome to Business News. We begin with news on Nigeria's economic recovery. The National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) says Nigeria's annual inflation fell for a second straight month, showing the early effects of the Central Bank of Nigeria's intervention on the forex market. The NBS report disclosed that inflation declined to 17.26% in March from 17.78% in February, which is the first in 15 months. Nigeria still ranks 7th in Africa in the use of point-of-sale POS for payment transactions, even as the continent strives for a cashless policy. Reports reveal that South Africa is leading with 91%, followed by Ghana with 80%, while in Nigeria, only 21% of total transactions are done via POS.
Customers are responding for the POS, but few. The higher number that respond is cash.
Recently, I learned that most of the POS that we were using were having some network issues.
They to a shop to buy, a very big shop for them to buy something. So they were asking me what POS is. So it's awareness. We need to create more awareness about POS.
Another reason is the POS, the machine will not accept some certain cards.
Here's a quick look at closing figures on the Nigerian stock exchange market today. And that's it on Business News at this time. I am Moplan Dakok.
Thank you, Moplan. The Easter celebration is just around the corner, and as is the tradition, movement around this time is high, with Nigerians taking advantage of the holidays to celebrate with their loved ones. Correspondent Aliu Tukur gives us the situation in some of the motor parks around the federal capital city.
Jabi Motor Park, known for hustling and bustling, especially during festive periods, looks like any other day when NTA crew visited. The Zuba Motor Park is not different, as passengers complain of slight increase in transportation fare and drivers' low patronage.
Passengers are moving small, and we are okay with it.
Well, we've been here. We have not gotten so much passengers.
Relatively, you can see that the price of transportation now is high.
and Nigerian populate, we are not really finding it very, very easy.
To ensure that intending travelers arrive their destinations safely, the Federal Road Safety Co., together with transport unions, have put measures. 25,000 personnel, the authorities say, have been deployed across the country.
We have improved on our rescue services. We have more ambulances now, and prompt removal of obstructions on the highways. We continue to put in our best with the government support we are getting, the BOs and the road users to show discipline.
I have collaborated with key stakeholders like Federal Road Safety Commission to ensure that our drivers are trained and retrained.
Road users have also been advised to observe road signs, avoid overspeeding and overloading. In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
The 2016 Hajj exercise, from the viewpoint of pilgrims and Hajj managers, marks a massive turnaround in Hajj management in Nigeria. As preparations for another exercise gain momentum, an account of the 2016 Hajj experience is revealed in a documentary titled Yours Faithfully from the Holy Land by the National Hajj Commission to bring about a better Hajj experience for Nigerian pilgrims.
And we have to join the crusade of anti-corruption fight by Mr. President to eliminate whatever corrupt-related practice that has to do with pilgrim registration. We have to do that.
The package comes up tonight at 10 o'clock on the network service of the NTA. All NTA stations are to hook up for the program. We now join Ogochukwu in Benin for more reports. It's over to you, Ogochukwu.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Welcome to Benin. Governor Godwin Obaseki has signed into law a bill prohibiting forceful and illegal occupation of landed property by community development associations, CDAs, in Edo State. Goodluck Enaini reports that the governor has also presented a copy of the law to the Oba of Benin.
Speaker of the State Assembly, Justin Okonobo, said the law will also prohibit forceful entry into people's landed property and protect widows' rights to their husband's property. Governor Obaseki at the meeting with the Oba of Benin described the bill as historic, adding that a task force chaired by a retired Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, had been constituted to drive the enforcement of the law.
The only way to take a step back to where it rightfully should belong is to unleash and nurture our productive energies and that of private investments.
The Oba of Benin thanked the governor for making it a dream come true.
Palliative measures are put in place to ensure that they don't see it as a witch hunting.
The state government say those displayed by the law will be accommodated in Benin. I am Goodluck Enaini, NT News.
And that's it from here. Elizabeth, is back to you.
Thank you, Ogochukwu. Still to come tonight, developments on the global scene and sports. We'll be right back.
Following the approval of the whistleblowers policy by the Federal Executive Council and its launch by the Minister of Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, patriotic Nigerians have been making inquiries on how and where they could deliver information that could lead to the stopping or uncovering of fraud to the appropriate authority and answers to frequently asked questions. The Federal Minister of Finance has therefore dedicated a telephone line for receiving SMS, a whistleblowers portal, and an email address through which members of the public who volunteer to disclose information about a possible misconduct or violation could deliver such information for the attention of the team dedicated to process such information.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC impacts upon everything we do, including water we drink, the food we eat. They are important organs to the development of this country. And everybody should come out and join them and support them and help them to achieve the greatest benefits and success that they need to the country.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Thank you for staying with us. Nigerian novelist Chimamanda Adichie gets new honor and state of emergency declared in New Zealand following cyclone ravage. These and more global tidbits with Talatu Ezuriki.
Nigerians celebrated award-winning novelist Chimamanda Adichie has continued to receive international recognition. This time, she is elected into the prestigious American Academy of Arts and Sciences, considered one of the highest honors for intellectuals in the U.S. She is to be inducted in October. This comes as Kenya-born Lucy Gichuhi wins senatorial election in Australia to become the first of African descent to attain that position in Australia. Similarly, Russia has vetoed a draft resolution presented by US, UK and France at the UN Security Council that would have condemned last week's alleged chemical attack in Syria and demanded that Damascus cooperate with investigators. That is all on Global Tidbits. Talati Zuriki, NTA News.
Talking sports now, modalities for the forthcoming National Sports Federation's election